Hello everyone and welcome. We are here, we are live, we are ready to go, and we are once again in Kerbal Space Program Hardcore mode. And sorry for a little bit of a staggering there at the beginning. Something weird was happening in the chat and I just wasn't seeing everybody's comments, and so I was fixing that and suddenly noticing, oh my gosh, I only got a few seconds to go. But we're here right now. For those people that might be new to this series, this is me playing Kerbal Space Program in hard mode, and with the further disservice that I turned down the rate at which I'm collecting science to 30% of what it normally is. I also have quite a collection of mods. They're all down there in the description below, but none of the mods change the stock gameplay. They're all beautification mods or UI mods like this, or like you see Kerbal Engineer giving me some data up there, but nothing that changed parts, nothing that changes contracts, nothing that changes how the game actually works. And what we have here is the ARM-1. This was a vessel that grabbed a C-class asteroid, I believe it was, and first brought it into orbit of Kerbin. Then I maneuvered it into an orbit about Minmus, and then I started building a station around that asteroid. But I got another asteroid coming up here, a Class A asteroid that I've already kind of tagged. And what I want to do is head it back out again. So it's still here in orbit of Minmus. At the conclusion of the last stream, I detached from it and put it in a slightly different orbit, so I won't be encountering the station anymore because it was docked with the station. But it's all fueled up, and I got to figure out how to get it to the asteroid. But you know, before I do all that, I always like to welcome aboard my most recent Patreon patrons and YouTube members. One of the very small things that I do to show my appreciation for them. I honestly feel like I don't do enough, but I do like to give a shout out to the people that have just joined in the last week. So welcome aboard Kyle Mask and Thomas Bennett. Thank you very much for supporting the channel directly, and of course that thanks extends to everybody who supports this channel directly, either through Patreon or through YouTube. And actually, speaking of all that kind of stuff, I think there are quite a number of people that might be catching this stream for the very first time, because there has been a significant uptick in the amount of traffic going through my channel in the last week. I'm not sure why. There might have been some sort of launch that maybe have inspired people in the last week. Something about going to the moon and, you know, haven't been to the moon in over half a century, and now there seems to be some people over there. I don't know, something like that. Anyway, we're going to continue on with this. What I also have happening in this episode is, beyond trying to figure out how I'm going to get this to the A-class asteroid in question, is I do have I have a couple of objects, maybe I should show them, on their way to Minmus. I swear they're there. Are they ships? There are ships and maybe a lander or a base. Hey, there we go. This is actually not a ship at all. It's the core of a Minmus base. This is the lander for said base. As well, I also have a drilling platform and a storage tank. I haven't launched those yet. Should probably send those on their way. And what I want to do is I want to assemble them somewhere on the surface of Minmus, and that is all to service a couple of contracts here. One is to extract ore from Minmus and deliver it back to Kerbin to bring 400 units of ore back to Kerbin, which really isn't all that much. I've got this set up so that we can accomplish that. And number two is to build a new surface outpost on the surface of Minmus. What are some of the requirements here? Have to have at least 8 Kerbals. Must have the ISRU resource conversion kit. That's going to be on the drilling thing that's going to come up, and have 7,500 units of electric charge aboard, and the cupola module. So yeah, that's all that kind of stuff is going to be happening all over the course of this stream. All right, I'm just sort of taking a look. I got things going down there in the chat. Hello, Oliver, and Sneaky Drummer, and maybe Emily Anno too. Okay, I'll go with that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, I got to figure out how to get this thing. Let's unselect everything so we only see that and get it to an asteroid. Now, the asteroid is an A-class asteroid. I've already scouted it out. Whoops, I don't have them selected. There we go. There's a bunch of things that I've got selected because I also have, I think there's a B-class asteroid contract that I got to get in orbit of Eve. That's sometime in the future. And also taking a sample from a comet. So I got some comets here selected too. These are the ones in these big elliptical orbits. But what I'm looking for is an A-class asteroid coming in on Kerbin. So could that be... Do I have to go to the tracking station to see what class these are? Oh, I think I do. Okay, let's go to the tracking station. It's gonna be that way. Fine. I gotta figure out which one I'm going to. So here we are in the tracking station. Is it you? Are you an A-class asteroid? I think it tells you down here. It is, okay? And are you the A-class asteroid that's going to meet me in 47 days? It says here. You really do look like the candidate, don't you? Open up an alarm clock. I did set up an alarm clock to wake me up in 45 days. That definitely seems like the one. So you are asteroid SUO. I can remember that. He says famous last words, but I think I can. SUO. Okay, let's get back to our ARM one and load that. Okay, let's just select asteroid. There we go. I thought it would be this one because I could see that it's the one that's kind of closing in on Kerbin here. Yeah, you. So I'm going to set it as a target. Okay. No, I'm not. I actually started this at 10% science mode like Veos does, and then I said, no, that's way too slow for me. I can't deal with that. So I can't deal with that slow of progress. So that's why I'm coming in the way I am. Okay, so here it is coming into Kerbin, and somehow I gotta figure out. So I got to, it's coming in this way and ejecting itself out this way. So I gotta eject myself out in this direction, and I'm trying to think what's the best way to accomplish that. One thing is that I can wait until Minmus gets around probably here-ish, maybe, and then eject in that direction. The other thing, I think, and this might be the better plan, is to wait till Minmus gets around here-ish and eject myself towards Kerbin, coming close to Kerbin, do some Ober thing, and then use Kerbin, you know, with a little bit of a burn near Kerbin's low orbit about, you know, when I'm close to Kerbin, and get out that way. And I think Minmus has a period of something like 26 days. It takes about a week. I'm trying to think. So I'm trying to think. When I'm here, I want to be burning in this direction, but I probably need to do it a little bit ahead of time. Let's see if we can just eyeball this. Let's see if we can just eyeball. Well, no, you know what? I'm going to set up an alarm and we'll do this in a little bit. So for Minmus to get to probably about here is where I'm starting to think about it. And I think 26 days from Minmus's orbital period, something like that. I think I have, no, I don't have it written down anywhere. 26 days. I'm going to guess 26 days. That's less than a quarter of it, so a fifth of it. Let's set up an alarm for like 5 days from now. That's what we'll do. And then I'll deal with it. So this is called procrastination. This is all putting off a decision until you don't want, you know, because you don't want to worry about it. So let's create an alarm. And this is, I got to get rid of, I got to find a different place for that Kerbal engineer information to live there, because it's always in the way every time I try to create an alarm. Create an alarm. This is the alarm for the ARM1 setup ejection. That'll do it. And what I said just like 5 days. So that is just this one. Make sure I'm doing that right. 5 days. That's days, that's hours, that's minutes, that's seconds. Yeah, that all makes sense. Link it to the vessel, please. 5 days and 5 minutes. Yeah. All right, so that's coming up. Okay. We do have another burn, correction of some sort coming up in 5 hours. We have another one coming up in a couple of days. Here's something. I'm just noticing it here. I noticed that this contract complete message came up over the course of the stream last week, and I didn't notice it until after the stream. But what it says here is I can't move it. This is the contract to map 8 asteroid in Hadrian Kerbal with the Sentinel infrared telescope. This one's been going for a long time. Finally mapped 8 asteroids. And so, yeah. So a contract got completed in the background while I was doing nothing. Okay, let's get ourselves back to the Space Center. And what we're going to do is we're going to see if we can send the next module for our base on its way. Okay, so we'll probably be time warping to our Minmus window anyway, so I'm not going to worry about the fact that it's nighttime. Let's get rid of this junk. I don't know why it always bugs me. I wish it would recover automatically. There. Oh no, I'm in the wrong one. My whole thing set up. Here, I'll show you. I have my base actually in the spaceplane hangar. I like to build bases and station in the spaceplane hangar. So this is my Minmus base as it stands now. Okay, so... Oh, I got WASD on. Okay. So, this way. So the 2 modules that are on their way are this one, which is the core, and this lander, which is also on its way there. Though the core is going to go and I got to figure out where I'm going to land it. The lander is actually on its way to Minmus Station, where there is a crew that will be there to man it. And then the next thing that's got to go is this thing. And so I got to figure this out. Yeah. Is there anything? I got some lights up here. Let's put on some more lights. Kind of dress this up a bit, and you'll see my little trick of how I'm going to hook all these together in momentarily, and hopefully a little later in this episode. Okay, I'm going to disable WASD, and I just cannot. WASD is a mod. Okay, why? There it goes. WASD is a mod that changes. Okay, if I hit 5, it's supposed to disable it. It just did. Okay. So now I'm in the stock one. But it also turned on RCS Build Aid. That must be. But WASD is a mod that changes the control scheme in the spaceplane hangar and the vehicle assembly bay to something that I think feels more reasonable, but my muscle memory over a decade of playing this game won't allow me to learn it. So I really should probably just uninstall it. So what I'm doing, let's get on to the radial symmetry. I'm just going to put some blinky lights on here, and I'm thinking this is like the top of a tower. So the top of a tower, I think, deserves some red blinky lights. Just blinking at one blink a second. Turn the blink on. The light color is red. I just have probably that gray is probably the best. And then what I'll do, well, that's white, isn't it? Okay, I think we'll do this one. And then I'll just put on another pair. Flip them around. So it'll look like it's a double light. Because more light's always a good thing. So there we go. Some blinky lights up there. And probably some sort of landing lights might not be a terrible idea. They always kind of help you out. So I'm just going to put some lights down here. And we'll just kind of tilt them backwards. So these are really there just to help with the landing part of it. And we'll get into some action groups. Actually, anything else? I'll get into the action groups after I've separated this thing. And if people are wondering how am I supposed to do this, somewhere in the settings there's an option to auto move debris on the launch. Yeah, I always thought there was there too, Oliver, and I've looked for it again and I've never been able to find it the second time. I'm not convinced. It's got drills. How about some orange blinky lights that come on when the drills come on? I think that might be a thing to have. Let me think. They might not have a good place to go. That's the only thing. What if I went to the mirror symmetry? Went to two-way symmetry. Where'd that other one go? I have absolutely no idea. Oh, it's right there. That's perfect. That is perfect. That is perfect. That's exactly where I would have wanted it to go. I'm just going to try and get in close here. I'm just going to slide this back a little bit. Local. There we go. Maybe about there. And we're going to make this blink really quickly. Half a second. And we're going to change them to kind of a amberish color. You know, as like a warning light, right? And then what we'll do is we'll just copy that. Swing over to the other side here. Same idea. Oh. Mirror symmetry. Spin this around. A bit. That'll do. That'll do. And those I'll have come on when the drills come on. I think I'm done. I think I'm done. So what we're going to do is we're going to make this probe body up here, the root part. Actually, let's save this first. Then make this the root part. And then we're going to take all of this stuff and we're going to throw it away. And then we're going to switch over to the vehicle assembly building and we're going to figure out how are we going to get this thing where we need it to be. Okay, so let's grab this. This is always where you get into issues because it's always like there. Oh, I got the WASD on again. Okay, let's turn off the WASD. I honestly, I need to give up on it. I need to say, this is not for me and be done. But then always once the stream is done, I end up forgetting to do that. Just trying to get this into the middle approximately of all of this, and then I can grab this and just go up. All right, we got to build a booster under this. Oh, shoot. I know what I forgot to do. Okay. I forgot something. Just wait, I'll show you. Don't save this. Back to here. Thankfully, I saved this thing before I demolished it. I haven't put on the mechanism that's required to do the whole docking thing, to get these things to connect together. And my trick that I like to use is I like to put wheels on it. And specifically, I like the small landing gears, these guys here. And again, WASD off. There we go. Get rid of that. Okay. get down here. And I need this to be on, this might be tricky, I need this to be on the radial symmetry. I think the best plan then, because as soon as I go to these things, it's going to go 4-way on me. So I think the best plan is to put them here. And right away I can see it's not mirrored the way I want. I want them to mirror this way because that's the direction it's going to be driving. So I'm going to make this piece here the root part. I think I can do this. Okay. And I think that should change the direction of the mirror. It did not. Okay, okay, let's make the docking port here the root part. Maybe that'll do it for me. Now do I have it? Now I have it mirroring the way I want. I posted a short on that mirroring trick that I just did. And somebody on the YouTubes said, oh, all you need to do is do this, like some sort of shortcut. And now I've forgotten entirely what the shortcut was that I'd never heard about. And then I was going to test it, and then I forgot what it was. Oh, shoot, this is not on 2 of them. There we go. Perfect. So we're going to do this like that. And I don't want them to get too much in the way of the landing gear. Maybe tuck them inside a little bit. A little bit more further back. A little bit more inside. Probably a little bit more in. I want them to be a little bit wide because I don't want this thing to end up tipping over on me. Okay. And now just do the same thing. If I can select them, there we go. Again. Change to the mirror symmetry, please. R. There we go. I keep hitting the little 4-way struts there, and it keeps going to 2-way symmetry. Okay, there we go. And for those people that aren't seeing how this is going to work, you will see how this works momentarily. I think that's... Just want to make it kind of match what's on the other side there. I think that's pretty good. Okay, and then what I want to do is grab the whole thing, bring it down so just the landing legs just clip into the floor texture. And then I want to grab those things there. I'm being asked, did you ever use this rotating beacons light that looks like a... Oh, the cherry light. Do I have that? You're right. I forgot about the cherry light. Sometimes I get mixed up with what is stock. I don't have it here. I have used it. I'm not sure if I used a stock one or something else. That would be cool to have when the drills deploy, but I do not see it here. There's no kind of cherry light. And I'm going to go a quick look to see if I have, because I'd like it. I think that would be a neat thing to have. But anyway. Oh, shoot. Didn't mean to do that. Going to use the move tool. We're going to take these wheels. And we're going to slide them down so that the wheels are just touching the surface. So they're at the same level as the landing struts are. So right about there would be good. And then we got to fill in this gap. So I did the same bloody thing. Then I got to fill in this gap so it doesn't look like that they're just floating in space like this. If you know what I mean. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, let's lift this all back up again. Let's retract our landing gear. Well, actually, let's leave it like this because it gotta look both ways. Look good. I think the best plan, again, it's the same thing that I did. If I look over here, I'm going to use one of these structural tubes. In fact, why don't I just copy that one? And hopefully I can get it to click in. Oh, there it is. And then we will extend it, make it a little longer. That's all right. Can I change its color? No, I can only make it shiny. And methinks I'm going to muck with these lights a little bit. So we'll make the lights kind of look like they're just kind of peeking out here. By the way, if you hold the shift key, you can slide things as much as you like. It's always a handy little trick to remember. I think that should be okay just like that. I think I can live with that. Alright, and then what we'll do is we'll retract these. And retract these ones. And now we'll do what I was going to do. Now this thing I think is pretty much all ready, so we are going to save it. We're going to make this the root part. We're going to get rid of all of this. Oh, I missed. There we go. And we're going to switch over to the vehicle assembly building. The cherry lights from KOS, weirdly enough. Yeah, I knew I'd see. I always lose track of where mods are coming from. Or, you know, especially with mods I use a lot like KOS. So there isn't a stock cherry light then. I take it. Okay, I'm going to try and, again, just, oh, for goodness sakes. Just try and get this into the center of the circle. That is my only goal. That's pretty good. Then grab it. Move her up. What I find the weirdest thing in the stock setup for the controls for the VAB and the spaceplane hangar is how they're different. And that's really kind of annoying, I think. Okay, let's retract everything. We'll start that retracted, start this retracted. Oh, I guess that's it, isn't it? I guess so. Okay. Yep, let's get into some action groups. Oh, is there no antenna on this thing? There is no antenna. Is there electricity on this thing? Oh, there's 4,000 units of electric charge, so that's cool, but there's no antenna. That's something to fix right now. A single communitron will do just fine, but why not have two? Because everything will look better when it's two of them. I'll just go like that. So that'll be my antennas, right? Extend. Yeah. Lights off. Now, I might need also some... I think I'm going to... There's no think about it. I'm going to need some reaction wheels to control this massive thing. Like, it's heavy. I'm sure of it. Yeah, it's 12.5 tons. This is not full of ore, is it? No. So, I think I need the big reaction wheels. I do have... Maybe this isn't a bad idea. I do have these reaction wheels. They just might fit in here nicer and be... Well, they don't matter if they're close to the center of mass or not. I just think these might just fit in here better. If I do that, and do that. Yeah, I think that looks okay. All right, action groups. So on action group, again, if you just click on it, suddenly the action groups appear, even though I don't have a tier 3 VOB yet. I want to toggle the solar panels on action group 0. I want to toggle the antennas with action group 0. I want to have these start closed and remain closed. There's no reason to ever open them, I don't think. I keep having my center of mass coming on. On the lights action group, I don't want these landing lights that are at the bottom here to come on. Now, which I gotta make sure. I think they are the Mark 1s. That's these guys. Let's change their color too. I'm just noticing that. And I'm also noticing I don't like the way these braces are floating in the middle of space, so I'm going to make some adjustments here. Slide them up and make it look like they're kind of... That looks okay. So they're sort of attached to that. Okay, anyway, back to what I was doing. The light action group, these guys, which are the Mark 1s. Not those Mark 1s. Oh, there we are. Oh, those are the Mark 1s. These Mark 1 illuminators. I want them out of here, and I want them in the gear action group. So they will deploy... They will toggle on when I toggle on the gear. And I want these blinky ones here out of the light action group. That's these ones. So those are the navigation lights. There's different ones. Okay, these ones, I want it out. And on the other side, I want it out. And I want those guys toggled with the drill. And I'm going to put the drill on action group 2. So in action group 2 is going to go the drill. So this is going to be toggle the drill. No, toggle service harvester. Yeah, I guess that's it. Toggle service harvester. And I want to toggle these lights. So those lights come on when I toggle the drill on. Now, do these radiators need to be turned on? Yeah, I'm going to toggle the radiators too, because definitely when the drills are going, they're going to generate heat. So I would like those radiators to go. Okay. I'm thinking I'm action grouped out on that one. So now I got to think. Oh, the landing little wheelies. I want to toggle those independently from the gear. They're going to be on action group 1. Extend, retract. Same here. Extend, retract. Okay, now I think I'm all action grouped out. Again, why is that center mass coming on? I don't know. It's because RCS Build Aid keeps coming on. Stop doing that. Okay, I got to think about how I'm going to get this thing to Minmus. So again, budget-wise, let's get out my calculator a little bit. Oh, I'm going to do the sky crane trick. That's what I'm going to do. So I got written down for landing on Minmus to be about 200 meters per second, but it'll only going to do the sort of last bit of it. So maybe like 100 meters per second might be enough. So I'm going to do a TD-060 coupler. I'm going to flip it upside down. We're going to put it right there. We're going to put on an Oscar B fuel can. Which is going to go right there. I'm also going to put on another probe body. I'll put on another regular like that, just so I can control the sky crane independently. And we're gonna put, oh, it doesn't need reaction wheels because it'll work. Oh, it will once it takes, oh, once it takes off, it doesn't matter. It can die a quick death. Okay, and then we're going to put on these guys on 4-way symmetry. Come out a little bit. And we'll put on some of these, whatever you call them, the twitch engines. Where are all these? Oh, there's a... Why do I have a motor down here? I have no idea why I have a motor down there. There's no sense for me to have a motor down here. I don't need a motor down here. Let's take that off. I'm trying to think how that would have ended up there. All of a sudden I noticed the extra motor in the staging diagram and going, why is there a motor here? That doesn't make sense. Anyway, that gives me like only 45 meters per second of delta V and not a very good thrust to weight ratio. So we're going to need to amp this up. There's an antenna down here. We're going to need to amp this up a bit. I'm just thinking how. So I got the twitches. We're going to put more fuel. That's an easy enough thing to solve. Maybe I'll need to go... I'm wondering if there's a way I can do this with sparks. I'm thinking... like that. We'll try and make it look better in just a little bit, but for now, obviously, they are pointed in the wrong direction. Like that kind of a thing. And I know the sparks come with a, you can take the, yeah, you can take the, a lot of that framework away. Anyway, that ups the TWR to 0.62, which is quite a lot better. How do the sparks compare to thrust? Thrust is 20 kilonewtons. These are 6. They're not that much better. We are into the Cub engines. They are 28. Let's look at ISPs too. Oh, 310 ISP. And they're 180 kilograms. Maybe these might be, you know, in 32 kilonewtons of thrust as opposed to the 20 that's over here. Maybe these Cubs are a better choice. I also have, like, these Thud engines, but I think they'll be complete overkill. Let's try these Cub engines. Not exactly what... Oh, they're kind of big, aren't they? That'll work for me. They're kind of... kind of huge. Well, Cornbread, I'm very, very glad my videos help. Now I need to figure out how on earth I'm going to get this thing where I need it to be. So we need to put in more fuel. Let's try just another Oscar B on the top. Adding more fuel should not bring down the thrust hardly at all. It didn't. Most of the thrust is coming from... I think this will work. I don't know if I'm a big fan of how it looks, but I don't think there's much I can do about how it looks. Oh, I can change some things. Just hang on. Okay. Oh, these are just... Okay, no, I'm not doing that. Let's just put on... Not that I think I need them, but just to make this look a little more like it actually is structurally sound, I'm going to put on just some more of these. They're actually not even going to attach to anything really in the end. But just to kind of look like, you know, there's some structure here, if you know what I mean. And we could probably take these motors. Well, maybe I don't need to pull them out. Maybe I can leave them right where they are. Just make sure they all point in the same direction. I think they're pretty good. I'm gonna give this little test. We're gonna stick this, simulate this into orbit, and see, make sure the thrust is not occluded. I doubt that it is. I think that's far enough away from everything else. But I think this is gonna work. So we're gonna save this. Oh, this is the Minmus base drill platform. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to simulate this into orbit using the KRASH simulator mod. Orbit selection. Kerbal. Yes. Oh, I don't care about changing the calculator to Minmus. Don't care less. That makes no difference for the DV calculation at all. And I don't like changing the thrust to weight reference because I find it confusing. I like to have a consistent thrust to weight reference. I want, you know, that a thrust to weight of 1 means a thrust to weight of 1 regardless of where you are. So there's I never change the reference. Or very rarely do I change the reference. I should never use the word never. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to lock this thing onto prograde. And this thing has like 92 meters per second here. So I should be able to increase this velocity by 92. And if I do, that means everything is working fine. So we're simply going to punch on the throttle and push it. And you can see here how the speed is not increasing in the slightest. So what this is telling me is that the thrust is being occluded. The gases coming off of here are just hitting this, and we are not accomplishing anything. It's like Wile E. Coyote on a skateboard, you know, trying to use a fan to blow into a sail. Ain't gonna work. Physics has got us already thought of that. So we got to end our simulation, and we got to fix this a bit. Now, one thing I might just do, and this was suggested the last time I did this. I mean, there's two things I can do. One is I can bring these out further away from the body of the craft. And the second thing I can do is that I can angle these outwards. Let's try angling these outwards. Let's try that. Just to do something that I didn't do last time. So we're going to angle these outwards like that. Now this does reduce the effective thrust, because some of the thrust from this now is fighting the thrust that's coming from its opposite one. So it is reducing the thrust, and it is reducing the delta V that's not reflected in these calculations up here. But it might be something that I can just live with. So once again, what we're going to do is we're going to save this, and we're going to simulate this into orbit. And the thrust loss you can actually calculate. It's the cosine of the angle that I just turned them times the oh shoot, is this not in? I did that, did I? Okay, let's cheat it this way. Set orbit. I didn't put it in orbit, so I'm going to use the cheat menu to put it in orbit instead. Wait a minute. The new thrust would be the old thrust times the cosine of the angle that I just turned these by. Make sure I got that right. I do got that right. Okay, and that's why you might have heard the term cosine losses. That's why they're called cosine losses, because it's when the thrust is at an angle to the direction that you want to go. Okay. Again, throttle up. Let's see how much I can increase my velocity by. Now it's working. It was like 67. I think. Now it's like 56, so it is like 89 meters per second of DV. I'm perfectly comfortable with that. I like it. I like it. Rather than making the whole profile wider, I'm happy with that. Okay, so we'll revert back. The tractor, yeah, we're pulling it. I always call this thing a sky crane, but it's not a proper sky crane, because a proper sky crane is attached with cables, right? And this is not attached by cables, but although there are mods that let you use cables in KSP, I have not tried them in a long time, because it's an adventure for the physics to deal with that. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm okay. So what we're going to do is I got to put some sort of, let's put a big, I'm going to put a fairing around this thing, and I guess I'm going to use the big one. Oh wow, look at all the fairings I got. Or not fairing, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the couplers. So it's the TD-25, that's what's going to go right there. And then I'm just going to put some, I'm just going to put something. Just to put a little bit of a gap between, because I'm going to put a fairing base on here. And the fairing base I'm going to use is the 2.5 meter fairing. I just want a little bit of a gap so I can come out like this. And we'll try and see if we can build a reasonable looking fairing around this thing. Oh god, I gotta come wider than that to get around the drills. There we are. It's closed, for goodness sakes. Okay. I can live with this, I think. We'll go 4 sides again. Lots of force. Clamshell deploy. Make it shiny. This is what I've been doing lately. This goes here. This goes here. I gotta wait. The staging's a little weird. Nope, that makes sense. So when I stage that, I want those to come on. What's this decoupler then? That's the decoupler up there. Yes, that's the one I stage when I'm ready to get rid of the sky crane. That all makes sense. Okay, I want this for now. Let's just delete the fairing. I know I just built it, but I'm just... Within this thing is traveling through space. It's not going to have the fairing on it. And I've got to do the budget for getting to Minmus. So getting to Minmus is 930 meters per second. I am pulling out a calculator. Worst video ever because you can't see it. But, you know, now we're pretending this is radio. 150 for the Minmus capture. I got 230 for the landing. And I'm going to ignore the 98 I already there, or the 92 I already got there. So I got about 1,300. I'm going to add about 1,000 to that. So I want to get a stage that's about 2,300 meters per second, not including the 92 that's up here. And then I should have more. So, well, I'll start off with an old dependable one of these with a poodle underneath it. I love the poodle for my big getting there thing. Oh my gosh, that's not even bad, is it? That's like in the ballpark as it is. Why you don't use the interstage nodes? Oh, I could use the interstage nodes. I didn't even think about it, to be honest. But I certainly could use the interstage nodes. Might do that. Didn't even think about it. There's my reason I didn't think about it. So what happens if I do that? I turn on the interstage nodes. That works. I might do that. I like that idea. Looks a little nicer. But now what I'm going to do is I'm a little bit short. I want about 2,300 meters per second. Actually, I'm a little short on the thrust too, which I don't like because I don't know if I want to go up a motor on this. 250 kilonewtons for the poodle. What would be the next? Oh, I got the wolf. The wolfhound. The wolfhound. The Wolfhound ISP 380. Okay, this might be a good one. It's got a better ISP than the Poodle does. Wolfhound. I like it. I want a little bit more fuel. Just a little bit. So what I'm thinking about is just taking one of these smaller tanks and just kind of dropping it into space, like right here. 2369. Thrust to weight. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Maybe a little smaller tank. How about like you? That's too big. I got a feeling this is too small to add. No, that's good. I like it. 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 Okay, do I have different textures on the Wolfhound? Oh, I think I'll go with the kind of Apollo-y look. That's clearly what it's clearly off the service module engine on Apollo that it's being modeled after. We'll go with that. A little orange. Do I need anything? I don't think I need anything. Nope, 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 we're good. Okay, that's that. Now we'll build the fairing. which of course is by no means an insignificant fairing. There we go. Okay, all these settings are still the same, right? The clamshell and all that business. Yep. All right, and the fairing, no, we'll keep it where it is right now. Let's build the next piece of this. The fairing actually should come on before that. That's better. Yep. Okay. I'm hoping, so I want a total, just doing my totals now. I think I had 13 plus 36 for the ascent. I'm seeing 49, maybe about 5,000 meters per second total. I'm hoping I can get away with not having to increase the diameter. So this is a pretty hefty, might need to. What do I got for the bigger tanks too? Well, let's see, maybe I'll go bigger. There we go. There's my 2.5. There's the 3.375. Like I do have like these mammoth engines. I got this. See what happens if I go bigger. May not be necessary. It might be overkill. But better overkill than underkill. We use that decoupler. Go like, oh shoot, I'm on the wrong size altogether. Frickety frackety froo. This is the one I wanted. So I unlocked, spent that 36,000 for no reason. And then I got this big old tank. And what if... I think I'm overdoing it. I really do. I think this is unnecessary. Well, maybe not. I got a lot of thrust. I got more thrust than I need. But certainly the delta V is in the range that I'm calling for. What if, again, just messing around, do I have the engine plate? That's a heat shield. Do I have an engine plate that's this size? I'm not sure I do. That's the fairing. No. What if, just to do something, so how much bang do I get out of the mammoth engine? That's 4,000 kilonewtons, which was too much. I could get away, can I squeeze 2 mainsails in there? That's what I'm asking myself. Or 3 of something, or that kind of thing. Would that be I don't know. I might be getting too fussy. What I had there is definitely going to work, so maybe I should just learn to live with what I got. Just to do something a little different. We'll go 2-way symmetry. I don't have the engine plate, but you can sort of simulate the whole effect of it. Do I have a different texture that doesn't look like these are... Yeah, there you go. How does that work? Now I got a thrust to weight of 2, which in the atmosphere is 1.9, and I got more delta V out of it doing that. I kind of like this. Let's see how this looks. I'm gonna slide these up. Take that off. I'm gonna tuck these in so these little frames are not... They are kind of close to each other, aren't they? Do they look better if they rotate them? That looks better. I don't mind that. What do you think? You have the engine plates. They look like tubes. Oh, I do have the engine plates? I do have the big engine plates? I didn't think I had the big ones. Okay, here are the engine plates. I got the 1. Oh, here. So this makes my life easier, right? This is the right engine plate. It is. Thank you. Okay, because now all I got to do... It cleans up the bottom of the tank a little bit too. I can switch it to having 2 attachment nodes. I can rotate it so the 2 nodes were the way I'd like to have them before there. That accomplishes the same thing, but clearly a lot simpler to accomplish. I kind of like it. I don't mind that. Just shy of 5,000 meters per second to delta V. I'm fine with that. Oh, maybe a little more. Maybe a little more. I can squeeze a little bit more fuel. Probably a lot more fuel, actually. Just putting in this fella right there. There we go. Now I'm over 5,000. I like that. Thrust to weight is still ample. We'll never stage this. So can I disable that staging? Yeah. What I like... No, let's... I don't know. Sometimes I find you disable the staging, but the game still gets confused. So I like to take anything that I'm disabling and just put it up at the top so I'm not... You know, it's not in my way. When this stages, that's this decoupler, right? Yes, I want that on that engine there. That's the staging I want. Let's go all orange. Can't make that orange. You're not nice. Make that orange. Oh, but it has to be shiny orange. I forgot. There. For whatever reason, the textures mods that I've installed, if I don't have the fairing as shining, it comes off as black. So there we go. Okay. I'm pleased. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the fairing, I'm going to put it up at the top. We're going to take the fairing out of the action groups. And then I'm going to go to here. And on action group number 5, we're going to put the deploying of the fairing. And that way I can deploy it whenever I want rather than waiting for it to be available in, you know, when it comes up in the staging. And then we're going to put some launch clamps on this thing. Oh, some hints of aerodynamic stability might not be a bad idea. I've been always using these little guys. I think I can... maybe I should go... We'll do that. And... it certainly won't hurt to throw in an extra set of reaction wheels. Like that. What do you think? Auto struts? I always feel auto struts are like a cop-out, and I only use them when I have to. I'm not so sure. I'm gonna try it without the auto struts. We're gonna see what's gonna happen. You know, what's 107,000 funds between friends if this thing fails? Because I'm on hard mode, just to remind people, I can't revert back to launch. So, if this fails, now no Kerbals will ever be in it, but if this fails, I just spent the money. Maybe we should do a sim. Let's do a sim. It's a lot of money. So that's why I got this sim mod installed. Let's do a sim. Just to see how she launches. Probably better. I play it a little too fast and loose, I think, sometimes. Oh, auto strutting most certainly does work, but I don't know. It's just me. Okay, let's see. SAS on, throttle up. Let's see how stable she is. So... oh, I didn't adjust the TWR on launch, so this is a lot of thrust right now. I should probably just kind of live with it. I gotta remember to turn that down a little bit. Anyway, either way, it's not wobbly. That's the more important thing. Comfortable that way. A little off course and a little too much thrust. Actually, this is going to Minmus, so I'm going to be going into a 6-degree inclined orbit, so maybe I'm not that much off course. No, I think it's pretty good. We'll go up, check some fit staging and all that kind of things too. Yeah, in the night here, you get a nice look at this lovely plume there coming from Waterfall. Okay, gonna reduce throttle here. Keep that apoapsis close by. Well, is that Franklin Wakesa? You are very, very welcome. I'm very glad to help. This game is, by no stretch of the imagination, intuitive, and it doesn't do anything to really kind of hold your hand through that. All right. I don't know. We'll go through all the staging here just to make sure everything's on the up and up, but I'm thinking it's pretty good. This is costing me money, though. You can see that. Like, there's sim costs up here kicking away. So, you know, I'm right now closing in on 5,300 curb bucks. It's a nice system having the sim mode. It also, for the live stream, really clearly separates when I'm in test mode and when I'm in playing the game mode. Normally, I don't like to play without having the ability to revert because there's always the possibility of the Kraken having something to say in what's going on. But, you know, knocking on wood, that hasn't really reared itself too often. Okay, oh, I can do the fairing. Boink, there we go. We can put on lights for whatever that's worth. Okay, I saw a little flash of lightning down there. Alright, we are closing in on losing our big booster stage. I kind of like the fact that I went to the bigger size. This is the first use of these 3.75 meter parts. Alright, on to the Wolf. The Wolfhound engine. Oh, who am I kidding? This is all fine. There's no issues here at all. Let's just kind of whip this around, make sure it stays really nice. And it's good. It's good. Let's end this and let's do it. Revert back. Whoops. Gotta hit the close button. All right, I'm thinking this is good. So I'm just going to save it. I'm just going to go. Oh, no, I want to adjust the thrust to weight ratio at takeoff. That's what I wanted to do. So we'll put this on Atmo. And we will tweak this down. 1.34 is happy for me. Are both of these the same? I didn't just tweak one of them? No. Always paranoid about that. Okay, launch. This time for real. Okay, so Kerbal Engineer, I need you back because I'm going to use you to find Minmus. So celestial bodies, we're going to select Minmus as a target. We have a time to the ascending node coming up in 1 hour and 30 minutes. That's going to be our launch window. And actually, I am thinking I might go to the further one because that might still be nighttime. I'm really thinking that. And you can eyeball these things, by the way. You should be launching when your launch site is below Minmus's orbit, so right about there. But that was going to be during the night, so what I'm doing is I'm going towards the day. I'm doing it on the other side here. Let's take the time warp off. I'm only 50 minutes away. And let's wait. I got to take a look. I'm going to be launching 6 degrees towards the north. And then we'll look at getting these 4 modules in place. That's going to be the rest of this stream in all likelihood. Okay, it's right here, 20 minutes. 15. 10. Okay, remove the time. Oh, we're going up in a thunderstorm. That is just perfect. Here we go. We love it. We're not scared of no lightning. Silly people at NASA are scared of lightning, but we're not scared of lightning. What do we have scared of? All these weather effects, by the way, are coming from Black Rat's Volumetric Clouds mod. This one is version 5, which is something that's only available to his Patreon supporters. But you can get version 3 for free, from what I understand. Okay, 2 and 1 and go. We are off. I'm going to keep it looking this way because I like the thunderstorm. We'll be out of it momentarily, though. Okay, so we need to go to the north, right? I said yes, north. To the east, everything's backwards because of the way I... Oh, north is the other way. Subtract 6 degrees from 90, so I want to go about 84, 83 degrees for my heading. Let's lock that to prograde. I momentarily went the wrong way because I got the camera the way I'm not used to having it because I'm watching the thunderstorm. Okay, let's see if that settles in on 83 degrees. Oh, that looks beautiful. Look at the ginormous thunderheads and everything. It's just awesome. It's absolutely awesome. Look at that. I'm glad there was a thunderstorm. But that thunderstorm is now long behind us. We don't have to worry about it no more. Okay, again, reducing throttle. And just keep that apogee close by. All right, and I do want to keep an eye on my inclination too. It's now at 5.2 degrees. When it's at 6 degrees, that's when I lock it to the orbital one rather than the surface one. And then it should stay to 6 degrees for the rest of this. 5.5 degrees. Oh, no, you get back on surface there, my friend. No. Don't go to orbit till I tell you to go to orbit. Okay. Will I ever return to Kerbalism? Yes, absolutely. I do have a plan to. I'm thinking about. I always in my head have what my next stream series is going to be, and I am thinking this one I'm going to be drawing it towards a close. But yes, the next one. I'm not sure exactly when that will be, but Kerbalism is going to be definitely in the mix. And I mean, I use Kerbalism in my RP1 series, so I guess there. Oh, whoa, fairing, boink, come on. Waste not, want not, don't need that no more. Oh, shoot, and I wasn't paying attention. I am past 6 degrees, I am. Shoot. Okay, put it on orbit. You dope. Let's go back towards the heading closer here. Let's start pulling that 6 degrees back down. You ding dong. Okay, there. Lock it onto prograde again. How's this doing? We're okay. I noticed it went below 6 degrees there for a second. Okay, keep it on there. Okay, orbit. We're locked on prograde. Should stay 6 degrees now. More thrust. All right. We're all good. We're all good. The 2.5 meter scale, that is something I'm not sure yet. I do like that scale, playing at the 2.5 time scale, and then just playing with stockish parts. So that is also some, again, I've not finalized it, but it is something that I've kind of had on my radar for quite some time to play on that scale. But to play a stock game, like to play the stock solar system on that scale. I'm a big fan of the stock solar system. Like, I really don't have a huge amount of desire to mess around that much with the stock solar system. Now, that might have a lot to do with the fact that I pretty much spend, I would say, 98, 99% of my time fussing about between Kerbal and the Moon and Minmus, and very rarely go interplanetary. But I don't know. I just, you know what this doesn't have? I don't have any form of solar generation on it. I do not have any form of solar generation. Okay, we're going to have to nurse this. Oh, yes, we do. What am I talking about? I got these ginormous frickin' gigantor solar panels. Never mind. Don't worry about me. Speaking of which, like, I got solar panels. That is not a concern. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's finish this off. We're not quite in an orbit yet. So we'll get up there to our apoapsis. Because those drills, and actually it's the converter that uses a ton of electricity. We'll roll this way too. I don't know why it looks better that way. I certainly do not want to speculate on the ending of Artemis 2. I don't know. Every time there's crewed launches, I get a little bit nervous. Oh, let's push this up. Like, clearly all of us wish them nothing but the best. All right, there we go. That's 80 by 80. Let's send this fella off towards Minmus. So we're still selected as a target. Come over this way. Add that maneuver. What's my inclination difference? 0.2 degrees. I like that. All right, let's focus our view here. And yeah, we're going to put it in a polar orbit so that we have a lot of options, because I have no idea where I'm putting this down just yet. So I want to have all my options available for where our landing site's going to be. I'm just playing around with the timing, trying to get this as efficient as I can. Basically, I just push the PE by moving the time button as far as I can towards the right, and then I use retrograde to bring it back, reducing the amount of my burn, and then I just repeat that until I can't push it to the right any further, like right around there. And now I just the retrograde to get that polar orbit. This is coming out like super duper nice. Like almost like, you know, I planned this or something, which I did not. All right, that burn's coming up in 11 minutes and 40 seconds. In 23 minutes, I have to do a mid-course correction for one of my other vessels. So, chop, chop. Chop, chop. We've got stuff to do. The biggest thing with this thing is without a doubt, going to be putting it down on the surface. Because it is tall. It's going to be tall. It's going to be awkward. And you know what I'm thinking? What might not be a completely dumb idea is to go into the VAB before I get ready to do that and sim this thing and practice a landing just to see what it's like. Because I got a feeling this thing is going to be like trying to land a pendulum, a very, very heavy pendulum. With all the thrust up here at the top. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, this part of it should all go fine. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. All right. And this is a 1-minute burn. Yeah, I'm definitely going to attempt to land it in one of the ice lakes. I do have the ore mapping satellite-y thing, so I am going to put it somewhere where there's a reasonable ore concentration. Though I know nowhere on Minmus is it really crazy high. But yeah, so I'm going to think about that. I'm going to put it in a flat somewhere where there is at least some ore that I can drill. That's the plan. That is the plan. But I still might practice. I'm nervous. Okay, I'm just going to cut throttle here. We're going to switch out to Minmus. Oh, shoot. I did forget something else. I think I'm going to need some engineers to help me with it. To propel it, I was going to use RCS. And I completely forgot to put any RCS blocks on this thing. So what I'm going to need to do is to get some Kerbals down on the surface, which I was going to have to do anyway, and mount some monopropellant and some RCS. Here, let me turn down this thrust limiter. I knew I would I always forget something. I overcooked it. That's okay. That's okay. Okay, mid-course correction time. And then we got to hop over to these other ones. We've got 10 minutes. I don't know why I'm trolling out that far. Mid-course correction, about here-ish. Alright, so first of all... Oh, let's get rid... Oh, no, that's right. I don't know. That's still pretty perpendicular, don't you think? I think that's pretty... Maybe a little bit? Oh, wait, what am I doing? This one. A little bit this way, maybe? I don't know. I think I'm pretty happy right where it is. What I might just do is just lower the PE and call it a day. We can always make, you know, fine adjustments once we're there. Let's put this at like 15 kilometers and call it. Oh, heck. You know what? The heck of it. No, I'm not doing a mid-course. Forget it. It's fine. We'll just wait till we cross the SOI. That's what I'm going to do. So let's set up an alarm. And this is for the SOI change. Right here. Give me like 5 minutes warning. This is the drill platform SOI change. And we'll add that alarm. This turned on for whatever reason. The autopilot. Oh, somewhere along the line, I hit Shift P. That's why. Along there. Okay. Solar panels are going to be fine. I think this is good. Okay. Let's get over to our base. So, switch to that. Yeah. RCS tanks not bad for the refiner. I do have RCS on the RCS tanks, monopropellant tanks on the fuel tank module. so that I can refine monopropellant too. Okay, so this is the base core. And the idea of all of this stuff is to land and engineer and build those tubes that you saw. So that's what this is going to do. So this has got to land where it is we're going to land it, and it's going to have all the tubes and junk on it. So I got a 0.7. How long does this burn? 1 second. Oh my gosh, the thrust limiter's already like itty bitty nothing. So I got a nothing burn coming up. All right, we'll just do our best. Let's get to the burn. I'm still receiving. Whoa. Am I still charged up okay? I just suddenly didn't like. Yeah, let's delete the alarm. I didn't like the fact the sun's behind me. Like these guys, I'm surprised are not. They are occluded. Thankfully, I have a ton of electricity on board because that was a requirement of the contract. Let's just do the burn now. So we'll snap this to the maneuver node. I put a higher quality probe on this guy, obviously. All right, let's look at this from Minmus's perspective. Where are we? Here we are. And this tiny little correction here. What am I shooting for? 10 kilometers for that. Okay. No reason to wait for the start time to go down to 0 because this is such a trivial burn. Or it's not a time-dependent burn, I guess is what I was trying to say. I'm fine with that. 1200. Again, any further changes I can make when we get there. All good. Let's check on these solar panels because I sure as heck don't like... Can I point it? Nope. That way. Let's go straight point at the sun. There. That should do it. Okay. When are we crossing the SOI? We are crossing the SOI in... 31, what? 31 days? No, it's not 31 days. That's crazy. Here, let's do it this way. Create an alarm for the SOI change. SOI change. This is the core module. SOI change. Give me 5 minutes warning. It's in 6 days. Okay. Next, we have the lander. So let's get to that. Oh, I know. Rob's saying just reuse the RCS thrusters on the modules that you've already landed, and 100%. This guy is a perfect example. Yeah, we'll have RC. I could just rip RCS off of other things. It's going to work. It's going to be fine. So this is the lander. Unlike the rest of this first has to go to the station so it can pick up a crew. So, same dealio. It's got a... I need to turn down these thrust limiters. And I got me a feeling that these will not go down together. Am I right? They will not. So let's put it on number mode. Let's put 10s in here. And 0.2. Okay, let's put 1s in there. And that is a 1 second burn time. Oh my gosh. Let's put in 0.5. And that is now a 2 second burn time. Okay. Do I have decent exposure on the sun on this one? Yes, I do. So that's all good. Okay. Let's get there. It's a day away. Where's Kerbal? There's Kerbal. Oh, this is not the RPU. This is pretty much a stock game there. Is it Volsi? Excuse me, just... Oh my gosh, I can smell that coming. I can feel that coming. No, this is not RPM 1 at all. This is essentially really a stock game. All I've done is prettied it up. So all the gameplay, all the contracts, and all that kind of stuff is all stock. Let's get ourselves ready for this burn. So... put this here. Okay, and again, no reason to worry about getting right down to 0. Where is Minmus? Minmus is over here. Got funny things happening with lines that always kind of bugs me. Yeah, I'm going to do this with the tab button. Kerbal, Moon, Minmus. Sometimes you just get weird things happening. Okay, here we go. So again, our goal here is the station. So I'm going to be pushing it out here so that we're intersecting with the station's orbit. That is our target. So let's do that. In fact, I'm just thinking I might have spare RCS blocks on the station. I bet you I can get away with just swiping some of that. Let's see how that looks. Let's do a little RCS right now. What if I give it a little puff? Oh, that's a lot. Okay, let's leave it like that. We'll do our fine tuning when we get there. Okay, again, thinking about solar panels. Let's do that. And let's do that. That's fine by me. And you create an alarm for the SOI change. This is the lander's SOI change. And again, I always like 5 minutes warning. I don't know why. And that's coming up in 5 days. But the thing to notice is that the ARM 1 is the one that's coming up first. That's the thing we started with on this stream. So let's switch to our ARM 1. Oh, I'm glad you can make it. Is it Fizak? Are they almost empty RCS tanks on the station? I'm not sure they are. Maybe they are. They could be. I won't need much just to do the drive. We'll figure something out. I'm not concerned. We'll figure something out. Always do. We always figure. Oh, why my SAS is off? I just noticed that. Okay. So this is the ARM 1 and it is off to find this asteroid. So what I need to do is get it from its polar orbit about Minmus towards that asteroid. So I'm trying to figure out how to do. Now, one of the things, it'd be really nice if the plane of this orbit ends up being along the line of Minmus's orbit, or if you like, perpendicular to the direction towards Kerbal. I'm not sure that's going to happen though. Let's do a little bit of time warping. Let's focus this on Minmus. Which way is it going? So hard to tell. There, now I can see it. Because as Minmus orbits Kerbal, it's not so much this orbit changes, but Minmus orientation to Kerbal changes. I think it's going to work out. I think it's getting better. I think this angle here is getting smaller. It is, and it's because Minmus's orbit is changing. I wish I could get to stay Minmus's orbit there. Oh, wait, the alarm's about to go off. Okay, delete and close the alarm. So let's see, let me think. This is going around this way. I would like to eject myself in this direction to lower my periapsis with Kerbal so that... Oh, I don't think I'm in the right place yet. So that I eject myself out in this direction. Let's put... If it's going this way, I'm going to probably put the alarm burn around here. That's the idea. But I think what I need to do, I need this apoapsis to be more this way. So let's see what happens if I just start popping ahead orbits. Like a lot of orbits. So I'm pushing this burn way into the future. I think I need to wait a few more days is what I need to do. Yeah, this is going to take too long. We're going to wait a few more days. Just to get rid of this. I want to burn around here-ish, I think. So, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out. Let's wait 3 days. Well, actually, we can time warp here, right? Core module SOI change. Let's time warp a little bit. I got alarms to take me back where I need to be. I don't need to leave just yet. So I want Minmus. Okay, let's take that off. About 1 minute and 20 seconds. Oh no, 1 hour and 20 seconds. I got to be out of here. How does this work now? Still not there. I want it to be more, just a little more this way. Let's put an alarm. I'm not even convinced I'm doing this the most efficient way, but that's okay. Create an alarm. Manual alarm. This is for arm 1. Ejection. That's fine. Let's just go 3 more days. 3 more days. Link to vessel, add alarm. Okay. Back to this fella. Oh my gosh, you were 100% right. I was doing ahead time, not ahead orbit. That was pretty dumb. Either way, I think it's still a long ways off. Oh, you're right. You're 100% right. Well, no wonder the time was changing so little. Okay. How does this end up always in a situation where the solar panels have crap exposure? This way. Don't be like this. There. Get some good exposure. Okay. We are almost at Minmus. We should actually maybe even be able to see it, right? Oh, there it is. That's Minmus there. Here it comes. Okay, we're going to delete, close that. How far are we actually from it? 5 minutes, because that's what I set it for. That's in 1.5 hours that the lander's going to be here. It's right on our tail. So let's just warp to here. Okay, so we should now be in Minmus's SOI. Yep, we are in a hyperbolic trajectory. Our inclination is 9.2. Let's see if we can not do something about that. Now that's still set on itsy bitsy teeny weeny thrust. Let's give a little bit of thrust in this direction. That's making the inclination worse. So we're going to turn around 180 degrees. I don't know why I'm fussing about it being exactly 90 degrees. It doesn't have to be. But fuss I will. There's no reason for it to be, in fact. But you know, okay, what's our periapsis? Periapsis is 12. Very happy with that. Let's get to where Minmus is and set up our capture. Hope you like this. Just switch. There we go. And then we got to figure out where to put this thing down. That's the next step in this. Yeah, for people that weren't noticing, when I said I was going to hop ahead orbits, I should have been pushing these little plus minus buttons. Instead, I was fiddling with the time buttons. I don't know why, but that's what I was doing. There we go. All right. 158 meters per second, coming up in 2 hours and 30 minutes. I had turned this thrust limiter all the way down. Let's put it back up again. 6 seconds is a little on the low side. Let's put it back down. 18 seconds is comfy. So wait, what's going to come first? This is in 2 hours. The lander changing SOIs is coming first. So we're going to be doing a little bit of hopping around. I hope people don't mind. I kind of like it when I have to do hopping around between different vessels. A lot more on the go. All right, so this is going to be for this maneuver. Again, give me like 5 minutes warning. Add the alarm, and that is, yep. So let's jump to the lander now, because it's about to cross the SOI. Okay. And it looks good. And again, we should be, there's Minmus coming at us again out of the sun. Time warp. Alarm should stop us. Just looking at the alarms. Looking specifically at... Oh no, I got time to jump between. I was worried like it was going to... I had like 10 seconds to jump to the other one. It isn't that situation. Okay. Let's time warp into the SOI change. Warp to here. And let's figure out this encounter. I still got 55 minutes until I have to do that capture burn. Okay, we are now in Minmus's SOI, and my goal... Again, this guy's going for the station because it's got to pick up a crew. I think I'm just going to leave it exactly. This is fine. I should be able to set this up okay. Alright, so... Getting a capture. So we're got to set this up to get both the capture and the rendezvous. So I'm watching this little close encounter indicator. And I'm not going to capture into a circular orbit. But I want to get myself into a capture so these two are close together. So that we'll do one more orbit and then we'll be near where the station is. Now, I don't think I can go one more around. No, there's absolutely no way. So let's tweak this encounter as best we can. This always ends up with about 8 different icons all on top of each other. But there's a separation of 1.3 kilometers there. Let's see if we can tweak that a little bit. 1.6, 0.3 kilometers, 0.2 kilometers. There we go. That is perfectly fine. All right, so that's going to be our burn, and there's a 38 meter per second burn. So let's, again, adjust these two. Let's put 50s into both of them. See what it thinks of that. That's a 45 second burn, so it needs to be, let's go 100 then. That's 11 seconds. Okay, we'll do that. That's coming up in 2 hours and 36 minutes, but we got to hop over to our other one. So let's let's set up an alarm for that. For that maneuver. 5 minutes warning. Add alarm. Okay, jump to the first one. When's our drill platform getting here? It's still got a day behind, so it was a little bit behind the other two. That's okay. Switch to. Switch to. Alright, does this still have okay solar panel exposure? No. Every time I turn around, this guy's in a crap position for solar panels. There we go. Be happy to get it down on the surface. Okay, I see no reason not to just warp to this maneuver. So let's do that. And we're getting the alarm first, so we'll delete the alarm. We still got an... Wait a minute, that is an hour and 37 minutes, not 1 minute and 37 seconds, so we're okay. In fact, we'll have a little bit of time to maybe scout out a landing site for this thing. Coming over the pole. All right, 30 seconds. Let's time warp a little. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. This one does have the Poodle engine on it. Look at our orbital parameters. Okay, that's 12 by 12, or darn near close enough. There's still 255 meters per second left in this, which can easily, I think, yeah, I can easily land this on Minmus with that amount. So I can land it just on this thing, but that's not what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do is get just where my landing site is, a little bit off, and then we'll stage this, and then this little sky crane McJob is going to deal with the putting it finally down type of thing. Now, I still got an hour and a half, so let's do some scouting here. Let's see. So I got SCANsat installed. And there's my biome map of Minmus. And this is us. I should change this, actually. It's still like a spaceship, but I should rename this. Rename vessel, and you are a base. Yes, you are. Okay. There should be an ore overlay that I can put on this. There we go. There we go. That's thanks to the mapping satellite I'd already put up there some time ago. So, what I'm looking for, excuse me. You can see it's telling the percentage of ore as I hover around. I don't know if you can see that. There are places where it says 0. Well, I want to go somewhere where it's blue for sure. Let's bring down the cutoff. Oh, wait, I'm going the wrong way with the cutoff. Let's bring up the cutoff. 2.4. 4.2. So nowhere on Minmus has an ore concentration higher than 4.2%. So this is everything that is below 2.8%. No, everything above 2.8% is being shown. So I'm looking. This blue is the orbit ahead of us. You can see this is us here. That's right below us right now, but maybe... Might be nice to be on the Kerbal side. Which side is the Kerbal side right now? Then you're not reliant on relays for communication or anything like that. The Kerbal side's kind of in the dark, isn't it? It's kind of behind us. Here's the Kerbal side. Or I can land just over here. Trying to match the map to what I'm seeing here. Which I don't know why, but I find it tricky to do. Where's the flat that has this kind of shape to it? If I just took the overlay off, just for a second. Just look at the biomes. That is this one. Okay. This is what's rotating into the picture. So probably somewhere in here. I just don't like it that... Well, it might be on the Kerbal. Well, this thing rotates. Why am I worried about that? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Why am I worried about that? Let's put the ore overlay back on. And let's figure out a landing spot. So what I'm thinking, I want to be in the day side. I'm thinking what is this? This is 3.37 up here. 3.37 in this little chunky valley here. I don't want to land in lowlands though. I want to land in flats. So I am looking for a specific combination. Let's take a look just at ore again. Okay, what about these flats here? Those flats are oh, they're zeros. That's not cool. Those flats are zeros. Or all there's got to be a place that's flats with ore. That's what I'm looking for. I want to make my life easy. Oh, I think I see something. It's going to be a while till I'm over it. But I think I see my potential target. Just give me a second here. I'm just going to keep flipping back and forth between those. There is a little bit here I could do. But what I'm looking at is right in this gap. Right in the gap here. It's flat, but right in that gap we have an ore concentration. Oh, you're lying to me. That's an ore in lowlands. Oh, man. Am I going to be forced to not land in flats? Oh, well, thank you very much. I'm just going to say the letters WGR3KU for the very kind donation. Call me Happy Feet. Also, thank you for all the vids that you did. It's not much, but I want to thank you for all the work that you do. Much appreciated. Well, thank you. The super chat is also much appreciated. I am discouraged by this. Maybe I will have to land in lowlands or something like that. Let's keep on trying to figure this out. We can do this. I got a feeling it's specifically avoiding the flats for where there's ore. I think there's no ore in flats. All right, so we're going to have to do our best to find something that's fairly flat. Probably a high spot might be best then. Like here-ish. There's also a slope map. Which, where is it? Oh, yeah, I always find the slope things kind of complicated to read. Oh, here's a pretty flat area. But no ore, of course. We're back. Okay, I'm going to keep kind of just... Here we go. I'm looking at the ore concentration, 3.37. I'm seeing a slope of about 8 degrees one way and about just 2 degrees the other. So that is pretty flat. So here's what we're looking at. So what do we got? These are slopes, but I'm looking in here and looking, it's got a decent ore concentration. It's pretty flat. It's near the equator. I'm going to drop a waypoint in here. So we can drop a waypoint just like this. The numbers on the bottom, those degrees, are telling me angles of slopiness. And the closer I can get them to 0 and 180, the more flat it is. This might be about what I'm going to get. They're lowlands. Okay, I'm going to go here. So this is landing site. Whoa, 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 whoa. Shoot. I was typing and I hit shift and that turned on my motors. Okay, I'll have to figure that out. Right shift only, please. Okay, let's set that. Is that there? Did I screw up somehow? Why did that not work? Okay, there it is. If I just hit set, create waypoint. There it is. It's there now. And now I can probably take Waypoint Manager. And now I can change it from here to base. Oh, I got a negative periapsis. That's something I should probably deal with, isn't it? That's more important than everything else. Okay, let's just say apply and save, and let's figure out. I am, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Let's point radially out. I don't know. Are there people in the chat going, "Ah, you are crashing. You are crashing. Look at this." Oh my gosh. I was pointing more or less radially in, so I'm just going to point radially out and see if we can fix our situation here. Thankfully, I got a lot of fuel. Okay, now I'm just going to point prograde and raise my periapsis on the other side. Actually, this used quite a lot of fuel. I think I'm still okay, but it used more than I would have liked. Okay, I'm good. Okay, let's, again, Waypoint Manager one last time. Edit this. Use the terrain height for it. I wasn't looking at longitude and latitude. Oh, for frick's sakes, I was. I was looking at longitude and latitude for all that time. Right? No, I wasn't. No, I wasn't. I was looking at... Oh, yes, I was. Then what does the slope tell me? Oh, my God. Turn this overlay off. Yeah, this is just longitude and latitude, you big ding-dong. I thought I was looking at slope, and I was just looking at longitude and latitude. I am such a moron. Oh, my God. Oh, I don't know. No, in fact, now that I'm looking at where the waypoint is, it looks terrible. Okay, let's look. Okay, let's take the slope off, because I think that's just only confusing me. So I put a waypoint here, and that turned out to be terrible. But what if I put it up here? What's this area like? A little further. Oh, there's where the waypoint is. So more into here. What's this? Up on this. That looks like a good potential. Ore concentration sucks. Everywhere that's flat, the ore sucks. I think I'm going to need to put this to rest for a little bit and figure it out later. Oh. Okay, you know what? I'm going to put this aside because I'm starting to drive me crazy. I'm not sure if I'm driving you crazy. That waypoint's useless, so we're going to delete it. I was looking at longitude and latitude, and you're right about the flat with the ore. It's really a tiny flat. There is a flat with an ore somewhere. All right. Where are we at? Just looking at the time. No, you know what? I think I'm going to call... all of a sudden I'm looking. I just wasted my entire stream time just looking at that. So we're going to try and find this tiny flat that's got some ore in it. Like maybe this guy? So I'm going to take one last look. Because if I can find this, I'm going to be a happy pappy. One of these tiny little flats here. Let's take the ore overlay off. Just look at biomes. Looking at the shape. What about in here? This is what I'm looking at. Oh, there's flats there, but it's no ore. Slopes there, no ore. Ore in between. All right, you know what? I'm going to have to put it on hold. We're going to have to figure this out at a later time. Because I keep seeing like tiny little flat. We'll figure it out. We'll find a place that's got some ore in it. But I'm looking at the time of the stream and I'm thinking, you know what? This is probably a time I'm going to need to end this. Let's make sure this thing has some decent solar exposure. Of course it doesn't. Go this way. There we go. So I'm going to thank everybody in the chat. Going to thank you. Ah, we're still locked to prograde. Let's try this again. There we go. Gonna thank everybody in chat. Gonna thank everybody watching this at a later date. Extra special thank you to the Patreon patrons and YouTube members who directly support the channel, and everybody who indirectly supports the channel, either through liking, subscribing, but more especially about commenting and chatting and otherwise engaging themselves with the channel. Have yourself a fantastic week, and we'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.